Hello, listeners, and welcome to episode 132 of the Nigeria Football Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Olu Oke. And yes, today I've got another bumper episode for your listening pleasure. Of course, I have to rep my boys because we know this is the Champions League semi-final second leg week. Today I'm recording on Monday, 5th of May, but I have to channel the heroes of our past. And the only time I said Nigeria, so it's Nigeria. The last time Arsenal made the Champions League final, we of course know what Thierry Henry did in the quarterfinals and semi-finals, playing against Real Madrid and Villarreal. Round of 16 against Real Madrid, quarterfinal against Juventus and then Villarreal. So obviously we're hoping for some good news. So I have to channel the ghost of Thierry Henry and rep my boys. So that's the reason for the jersey outfit. Without any further ado, today we're going to be going through quite a few things. Standout performance as usual. I like the new format. Also touching a few under 20 AFCON updates. Player review, Starboy of the week. And of course with the ones to watch, we're rounding up the podcast. So without any further ado, starting with the standout performances for the week. And of course, once again, we have to start with Victor James Osimhen. What can I say about the machine? I need to find a way to change that after this season because he's probably going to leave Galatasaray. But yet again, Victor Osimhen scored a brace for Galatasaray against Sivasspor over the weekend in a 4-1 win as they clinched and edged ever closer to the Turkish league title. I think it'll be like their 5th or 6th title in a row. Since Trabzonspor won, so maybe their 3rd or 4th. But once again, incredible all-around performance from Victor Osimhen. Involved in pretty much all the goals, apart from maybe the 4th one. Even the first goal scored by Lucas Torreira was because of an Osimhen miss. Second goal, the ball hit the bar. Osimhen tapped the ball in, make it 2-0. Even the third goal, he crossed the ball. The defender intercepted the ball. His teammate took the ball, smashed it straight to the bottom corner. The 4th goal, which was his second goal of the game, I'll be honest with you guys, man. The Turkish league is too easy for Osimhen, man. No offense. They left the most dangerous player in Turkey free in the box. They took a corner, a free kick, indirect free kick. Osimhen had time to chase the ball in the box. No marker. And put the ball in the net. I don't know what these defenses are thinking in Turkey, but there's a reason why the Turkish league is ranked where it's ranked in terms of the European coefficient. So good to see Osimhen dopping in the league, but of course we know he's made for bigger and better things. It's just way too easy, and the defending was laughable, honestly. In fact, it was so easy for Osimhen that if not for a VAR check, he could have had a hat-trick. He scored a 3rd goal, but it was just slightly offside due to the semi-automated offsides. So anyway, the positives is he now has 33 goals for Galatasaray in his one season, 7 assists, 41 goal and assists combined in 40 games. In his last 12 games for club and country, he scored 16 goals and gotten 2 assists. Now 8 points ahead with 4 games to go. They win 2 games and it's surely signed, sealed and delivered, especially because Fenerbahce lost at home to Besiktas over the weekend, and those are their closest challengers. So that means they're now 8 points ahead with 4 games to go. So win the next 2, and pretty much it's a done deal. We've already heard the rumors about his next move, so we'll wait to see what happens in the summer. But all that one, like I said last week, of teams saying they're not willing to pay his wages is nonsense. Get out of here. Superstar, no, they beg anybody. Superstar now, superstar. If you know what's go away, if you want to change your clothes fortunes, you know where to come and you drop the money. So I don't want to hear that rubbish again. Also, it's great to see his post, world-class striker we're talking about. And he just posted about breaking his personal goal-scoring record of 31 in the season, which he's, of course, done this season in Turkey. Yes, it's an easier league. We have to stress that. But he's done exactly what was expected of him. So shout out to you, Victor Osimhen. Keep making us proud. Now, moving on from Africa's best player in 2023 to Africa's best player currently, Ademola Lookman scored a goal for Atalanta in their 4-0 win over Monza. Monza already relegated in the Serie, so this is probably one of the easiest games Atalanta would have played for this season. He's been on a goal drought since his goal against Juventus on the 9th of March, so he don't take small. So good to see him back on the goals. He's not had a goal, and he had just 1 assist, which was for Victor Osimhen's 2-0 goal to make it 2-0 over Rwanda and Kigali. Nice to see him back on the score sheet. This is a player destined for big things, Still the 4th top goal scorer in Serie. We even saw a video where Osimhen was saying he would love to see Lookman play for Manchester United, but honestly, I think he's meant for bigger and better things. Even Arsenal, I saw a post from the German journalist, I've forgotten his name, but it's quite credible, talking about Arsenal looking at Ademola Lookman. So we know he's going to leave Bergamo in the summer, but where would you like to see Lookman playing next season? Let me know in the comments. Always fun to see what our players play for the best clubs, and it's clear that Ademola Lookman will take another big step over the summer. Also, I wanted to shout out Nathan Tella. He got another assist over the weekend. Yes, Leverkusen conceded the title to Bayern Munich because of the draw, but if you watch Tella's all-around game, he got the assist for the equalizer for Jonathan Tah to score on his 400th appearance for Bayer Leverkusen. Fantastic cross, last minute again. Bayern Leverkusen, they never die. And they made it 2-2 yet again. So shout out to Nathan Tella for his assist. It was not enough, so Bayern Munich are officially crowned champions. So shout out to Harry Kane for winning the first trophy of his career. Also, I want to shout out Cyriel Dessers. He scored his 25th goal of the season. Regardless of the league, he scored 25 goals in the season. That's very, very respectable as a striker. Also, it was a great finish by him. Took the ball in, literally marshaled his defender away and slotted the ball in with his left foot. So, fantastic goal for Cyriel Dessers. Congratulations to him for reaching 25 goals. And then also, I wanted to shout out to Raphael Onyedika for winning the Belgian Cup with Club Brugge over the weekend. They beat Anderlecht 2-1 on Sunday. They dominated the game. It was 2-0 until stoppage time. So this was a very easy win for them. Good to see him adding another trophy into his cabinet. At the end of the day, it's what you win that you remember when you end your career as a professional footballer. So shout out to Onyedika. And there's a possibility this could be his last season at Club Brugge. So shout out to him. Also, I wanted to shout out Nigeria's #1 goalkeeper with the Super Falcons, Chiamaka Nnadozie. Her Paris FC team won the French Cup over the weekend. She also saved 2 penalties in the final. This is a woman that we know is a fantastic shot stopper anyway. So no surprises to see what she was able to do in terms of their game. To make it even more impressive, Paris FC played the Coupe de France final against Paris Saint-Germain, who are one of the better teams after Lyon in the French league. Ended 0-0. And then Paris FC won 5-4 on penalties, with Nnadozie saving 2 penalties. So shout out to her. I'm just amazed that the way she just keeps her consistency. I also know she's England bound. I'm not sure which team she's signing for right now, but we'll of course bring you that information as soon as I know more. All around fantastic performance from Chiamaka Nnadozie, and always good to see our players winning titles. So that's it in terms of standout performances for the week. Also, to quickly touch on the under-20s Nigerian national team, currently taking place in Egypt right now. The Flying Eagles currently sit second in Group B of the 2025 AFCON tournament. First game ended 1-0 against Tunisia on Thursday. We saw while Ibrahim scoring the only goal of the game, fantastic finish, played the ball into him, took the ball in stride, went past the defender and he slotted the ball in with his right foot. Fantastic finish. Also, one thing I must mention is the goalkeeper looks pretty decent for the Flying Eagles. His name is Hakot. We'll know more as the tournament progresses because our 2 games, we can't give too much away. Yes, we've kept 2 clean sheets, which is positive. Goalkeepers make a lot of credible saves in the first 2 games, but we've probably played the 2 hardest teams in our group as well. Beating Tunisia 1-0, and then we drew Morocco on Sunday, ended 0-0. It must be said, Nigeria did not look too threatened, but at the same time, we didn't necessarily threaten Morocco too much. But after 2 games, see Morocco and Nigeria level on 4 points. Morocco top us because they won their first game against Kenya 3-2, so they've scored more goals than Nigeria. We've only scored 1 goal, even though we've kept the clean sheets in our 2 games. So keep looking out for this game. We'll see how we get on when we play Kenya on Wednesday, 4 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria. As long as we finish in the top 2, we will qualify for the quarterfinals. And we, of course, know that if you make the semifinals, you automatically qualify for the Under-20 World Cup. We know that this is a big pipeline for Nigeria in terms of talent, especially how poor we've been in terms of utilizing our local league to further our talent abroad. So these big tournaments tend to be where we can see our players shine. So we wish the boys all the best. A lot of things to iron out, but we'll know more as the tournament progresses, because after 2 games, you can't really judge too much. So look out for this space. Also, I just want to touch out UCL games. As I said, Today's Monday, so tomorrow we're going to see the second leg of Internazionale against Barcelona. First leg ended 3-3. It was an absolute football spectacle. I'm sure everybody enjoyed that game. So looking forward to seeing who's going to end up playing in the final in Munich, which will take place on May 31st. The same day, Nigeria will potentially play Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago in the Unity Cup final or third place playoff. Also on Wednesday, I say Nigeria. I'm always thinking about Super Eagles. Arsenal will go to the Parc des Princes. We're going to play PSG. We're losing 1-0. I won't lie to you. I don't even have hope. But our whole season is riding on this game. So fingers crossed that somehow the boys can pull it out of the bag and take us to Munich to play our second ever Champions League final. So Arsenal fans, if you're watching this, stay positive. Stay prayerful. And you just never know. We may just do the job. So watch out for this space. So that's it in terms of the main updates for the week before I go to the player reviews as usual. Once again, if you've gotten this far in the video, please remember to give it a like. Share the video with friends who you know would like this content as well. And please subscribe. We currently have 1,820 subscribers. And I've set the channel a goal of making it to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Yes, we know that we're always going to be pegged against how Nigeria perform, and we hope for better news in terms of the World Cup qualifiers and subsequent Nigeria games. But I just want to take the time to appreciate every single listener. I don't take this for granted. We're trying to upgrade our setup and make sure that everything is as professional as possible. So I just want to give you kudos for listening and taking the time out of your day to watch me and the content that we provide on this channel. So thank you and help us get closer to our goal. Moving forward with the Premier League player reviews, and we saw the Nottingham Forest boys lose 2-0 on Thursday against Brentford. Aina started the game and Taiwan played the last 29 minutes of this game. That was a pretty bad loss for them, especially because it happened at home. Brentford had no reason to win the game, but the way we saw and Mbuemo are doing this two-man step to end the season, I think they may both even get 20 Premier League goals, which is just unbelievable when you think about the fact that they play for Brentford. Obviously, Brentford is where the Nigeria game will take place against Ghana. So I wish them well. Also, earlier today, we saw Iwobi on the bench and Aina played 90 minutes as Nottingham Forest drew 1-1 against Crystal Palace. They initially conceded a penalty to Bayer Leverkusen, and then Murillo scored an equalizer. So still all to play for in terms of Champions League places. We know they also have to play Chelsea between now and the end of the season. So all to play for, and we wish them all the best. Next up for them, though, they play already relegated Leicester City at home. So hopefully they could do themselves justice and get closer to the Champions League places after doing all the hard work through the season. It'd be a shame if they now stumble at the end in the last three games. Moving on to Fulham, Alex Iwobi played 76 minutes and Bassey also started as Fulham lost 2-1 to Aston Villa. Unlucky loss, but Aston Villa have more to play for at this stage of the season, so we currently begrudge the boys. It is what it is. Let's see how they get on when they play Everton at home on Saturday. As for our friend Ndidi, he played 90 minutes as Leicester beat Southampton 2-0. Great to see Jamie Vardy get his 199th goal for Leicester City. He needs one more goal to make it to 200 goals for Leicester City. I'm sure you've all seen the funny moment of him blowing the whistle when the ref fell to the ground. That's just Jamie Vardy classics. Also, according to BBC Sport, Ndidi has a relegation clause in his Leicester deal for £9 million. So one to monitor for the summer, and let's see if Ndidi makes the move, because honestly, this man cannot play another season championship. I know you love Leicester, you respect them. You're not a British passport holder. Well done. Thank you, Leicester. Ndidi has also served you well. Let him move on to better things, please. Enough is enough of this relegation for that. Rubbish. Anyway, let's see how Leicester get on against Nottingham Forest away on Sunday. As for the Southampton boys, Aribo was on a new sub and Onuachu played 45 minutes in Southampton's 2-0 loss to Leicester. It doesn't get any easier for Southampton. They play Manchester City at home on Saturday, so that's likely going to be another loss, but look out for that game. Also, other games to be aware of over the past week: Man City beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 1-0 on Friday night. Kevin De Bruyne scoring yet again. We already spoke about the Fulham and Leicester boys. Everton drew 2-2 against Ipswich Town. Arsenal lost to Bournemouth at home at the Emirates. Like I said, our Premier League season is cooked. All hands on PSG, man. Brighton drew 1-1 against Newcastle on Sunday. Alexander Isak scored an 89th minute penalty to keep the Champions League hopes bubbling. Brentford beat Man United in a 4-3 classic, but of course Man United have bigger fish to fry in the Europa League semi-final, so they're probably not too upset about that. And then we saw West Ham draw 1 against Tottenham. Tottenham also have bigger fish to fry in the Europa League semi-final. They've got a 3-1 lead over Bodo Glimt, and it's going to be a tough game in the second leg in Norway, especially with the artificial pitch and the fact that James Maddison's already ruled out as injured. Also, we saw Chelsea beat Liverpool 3-1. Of course, Liverpool already crowned champions, so they're probably taking their gas off the pedal a little bit. But Chelsea, good win for them. You know, they're chasing top 5 as well. So very, very good win. And of course, earlier today, we saw a 1-1 draw. For the weekend, there's no 12:30 p.m. kickoff, but we have a total of 4:3 p.m. kickoff games. Southampton hosts Manchester City at home. Fulham hosts Everton at Craven Cottage. Wolverhampton hosts Brighton on Saturday at the Molineux, and Ipswich hosts Brentford on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. The late kickoff on Saturday will see Bournemouth host Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa need to win that game to keep their chances of a Champions League spot open. And then on Sunday, we'll see a big one for the Champions League as Newcastle hosts Chelsea at St. James's Park. Man United hosts West Ham as well, 2:15 p.m. And Nottingham Forest hosts Leicester, hoping to do their Champions League places justice. We'll also see Tottenham host Crystal Palace at 2:15 p.m. And then Liverpool hosts Arsenal at Anfield. Of course, Arsenal, we have to give them a guard of honor, but hopefully if we can make it past PSG, we won't even care. We'll clap them very well, Tiff. So look out for those games. Table, no need to mention. Liverpool are champions. Arsenal are second. 3-point lead over Man City in third. Man City have 64 points. City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa could all still make the Champions League. So watch out for this space. Also, watch out, because Man United or Tottenham could finish the season in 17th place. Yes, they can make the Champions League, but I think that'll be an absolute disgrace and will be lovely to see. So look out for that one. But that's all we need to know in terms of the Premier League. Moving on to Serie A, I already spoke about Ademola Lookman's exploits over the weekend as Atalanta beat Monza 4-0. They've consolidated third place and they'll be playing Roma at home Monday Night Football next week. Roma also chasing a Champions League spot, so that should be a very interesting game to watch. As for Osayi Dele-Bashiru's Lazio, he was on the bench in their 2-2 draw against Parma last week Monday. He was also on the bench for their 1-0 win over Empoli on Sunday, so it's one to watch because he looks like he's fallen out of favour slightly with the manager. And remember, he's on loan from Hatayspor and he's not played any minutes in their last 4 games. And he's never really established himself as a starter, even though he's made some decent contributions. So watch this space for what's going to happen to Dele-Bashiru between now and the end of the transfer window in the summer. Anyway, next up for Lazio, they've got a crucial game against Juventus as they both chase Champions League football. So let's see if he will get some minutes in that game. Samuel Chukwueze, on the other hand, was on the bench here again for AC Milan in their 2-1 win over Genoa earlier today. He's not playing any minutes, man, so we just hope for the best. AC Milan are 9th, so there's not really much to play for with that team, to be honest. Next up, they play Bologna, who are chasing Champions League football on Friday night at the San Siro. As for Maduka Okoye, he played 90 minutes and got another clean sheet for Udinese in a 0-0 draw against Bologna last week Monday. He also played 90 minutes and made 1 save in their 2-1 win over Cagliari on Saturday. So everything's going well with Maduka Okoye. Next up for them, they play Monza at home on Sunday. And then Tyrone Ebuehi was not in the squad for Empoli's 1-0 loss to Lazio on Sunday. Next up for them, they play Parma at home on Saturday. 3 games to go and they're 2 points behind Lecce in 17th place. So all to play for there. I already spoke about Nathan Tella's exploits for Leverkusen in a 2-2 draw against Freiburg over the weekend. Victor Boniface currently out injured with a thigh injury. Next up for Leverkusen, they've considered the title, but they play Borussia Dortmund as they look to consolidate second place in the Bundesliga. So watch out for that game. Frank Rijekaard's Oberg finally lost. They lost 3-1 to Holstein Kiel on Sunday. I think this is a classic case of a mid-table team just they're on holiday in their mind. Holstein Kiel are going to be relegated. There's no reason why Oberg should have lost. But here they are. And next up for Oberg, they play Stuttgart away. Frank Rijekaard has put together quite a good season, so let's see what happens to him in the summer because he has to go back to Brentford. He's been on loan at Oberg, so watch this space to see what happens with him. Gift Urban was also on the bench for Hoffenheim while Akpoguma was late substitute in their 4-4 draw against Mönchengladbach on Saturday. Next up for them, they play Wolfsburg away as they look to stave off relegation. It's a bit tight for them, but I think they should just about be okay. In La Liga, Christian Uche served the second game of his 3-match match ban. Getafe lost 1-0 to Rayo Vallecano on Friday, so they need Crisantos back ASAP. He should be back after their game against Valencia when they play Athletic Bilbao next week Thursday, so watch this space. As for Omar Sadiq, he came off the bench in the 73rd minute as Valencia beat Las Palmas 3-2 on Saturday. Big result for Valencia. They're 12th and 2 points below Rayo Vallecano in 8th place. If they finish 8th, they could be playing Conference League next season, so watch out for that one. Omar Sadiq is, of course, on loan from Real Sociedad, so we shall see what happens to him next season. Another one to watch for the summer. Let's see how he gets on when they play Getafe at home on Saturday. Chidera Juke for Sevilla came on for minimum minutes. He played 6 minutes in their 2-2 draw against Leganés on Sunday. Let's see what happens when he plays Celta Vigo away on Saturday. In League 1, it looks like all the games this weekend will be played at 8 p.m. on Saturday. It's not yet the final game of the season, so that's an interesting one. Osayi-Samuel, Nantes lost again. Nothing to talk about there. They lost 1-0 to Angers, which is shocking, and they're just one spot above the relegation zone. So all to play for them when they play Auxerre away on Saturday. Hafiz Ibrahim played 26 minutes for Reims in their 1-0 loss to Nice on Friday, but they're comfortably mid-table, so not really much to play for in that team. They play Saint Etienne at home on Saturday. Lenny Kenna was on the bench for Monaco as we expected. Next up, let's see if he plays against Lyon at home on Saturday. Chuba Akpom played 45 minutes in Leo's 1-1 draw against Marseille on Sunday. They're still in contention for a Champions League place, so let's see if they could get the win when they play Brest away on Saturday. Gabriel Oshé was on the bench for Auxerre in a 2-1 loss against Le Havre on Sunday. Let's see if he gets some minutes when they play Nantes on Saturday. As for Hamza Al-Jadidi, he played the last 20 minutes for Lens as they beat Lyon 2-1 away on Sunday. Very good result for them. They're 8th. So they may still have a chance to make a European spot, not Champions League. Next up for them, they play Toulouse away on Saturday. And finally, Terem Murphy came off the bench in 89th minute as Nice beat Reims 1-0. They're currently 4th. They play Rennes away on Saturday, and they have a very good chance of making the Champions League. So that'll be a nice return for Terem Murphy into next season. Moving on to the non-top 5 leagues in Turkey, we already spoke about Victor Osimhen's exploits. Next up for them, they play Trabzonspor away on Saturday, which is pretty much a dress rehearsal before the Turkish Cup final next week Wednesday against the same opponents. If they could get 3 points again, it means they will need just one win to win the Turkish league, and it's looking quite likely. Osayi-Samuel, on the other hand, played 59 minutes for Fenerbahce in their 1-0 loss to Besiktas at home on Sunday. So they just need to consolidate second place. They play Istanbul Basaksehir away on Friday. As for Anthony Dennis and Gotsepe, he played 90 minutes as they beat Istanbul Basaksehir 4-1 on Monday. He then played 90 minutes in a 2-1 win over Demirspor, so they're currently 7th in the league, and they play Hatayspor at home on Sunday. And finally, David Okereke played 62 minutes for Gaziantep in a 2-0 loss to Rizespor. By the way, for Rizespor, we saw Ibrahim Olawoyi score and assist and was the man of the match in this game. So shout out to Ibrahim Olawoyi for his exceptional play. In Portugal, Sanusi continues to chop the bench. He's been benched for the past 5 games, so we'll bring you an update when he plays another game. Let's see if he gets some minutes when they play Boa Vista away on Sunday. In Belgium, Tolora Godari played 90 minutes while Urasor came on in its 7th minute as Genk lost 1-0 to Union Saint-Gilloise on Saturday, which really puts a dent on their title chances. Next up for them, they play Club Brugge at home, and of course Club Brugge are buzzing because over the weekend they beat Anderlecht 2-1 in the Belgian Cup final, which I already spoke about with Raphael Onyedika playing. He was also not in the squad as Club Brugge beat Ghent 4-1 on Thursday in the league, so he should definitely get game time and start when they play Genk away on Sunday. As for Jordan Torunariga, he played 58 minutes in that 4-1 loss to Club Brugge on Thursday, so let's see if he starts again when they play Royal Antwerp on Sunday. In the Czech Republic League, we saw Igor Ugbo play 90 minutes and get an assist. Slavia Prague beat their rivals Victoria Pilsen 4-3. They've already clinched the league, so this was just a formality, of course. In Greece, we saw Bruno Yemachi play 63 minutes and get a yellow card as Olympiacos beat PAOK 4-2 on Sunday. Next up for them, they play Panathinaikos away on Sunday. In Scotland, I already spoke about Cyriel Dessers scoring quite a great goal in the Old Firm derby against Celtic. Leon Balogun also hit the post with the header, so he's looking quite good there. Next up for them, they play Aberdeen at home on Sunday, so look out for that game as they try to get a second spot, which I think qualifies them to the qualifiers for the Champions League, so look out for that one. And then in South Africa, Steino Bali was not in the squad for Chippa United's 1-0 loss to Stellenbosch on Wednesday. However, he played 90 minutes and made one save as Chippa United lost 2-0 to SuperSport on Saturday. They play Mamelodi Sundowns on Wednesday, who are the best team in South Africa, of course, and then they play Maruma Gallants away on Saturday. I don't know what you guys think, but I want to see Nwabali make a move, man. You can't be Super Eagles number one when someone who's your number two is playing regularly in Serie. I know he has not let us down, but we have to be objective with these things, man. Like, he needs to move. Enough is enough. So let's see what happens in the summer anyway. Starboy of the week. Bronze medal this week will be shared by two people for their exploits. Ademola Lookman and Raphael Onyedika. Ademola Lookman for ending his goal drought in their 4-0 win for Atalanta over Monza to take him to 14 Serie A goals for the season, which keeps him in 4th spot in terms of goals for the season. And then Raphael Onyedika, of course, for winning the Belgian Cup as Club Brugge beat Anderlecht 2-1. He also started the game and put in a good performance. Silver medal this week, I need to give it to Cyriel Dessers. Regardless of the league, if you score 25 goals in a season, all comps, we have to bow for you, man. Well done. So shout out to Cyriel Dessers for that. And let's see if he gets caught up for the Unity Cup games. Starboy this week, once again, is Victor James Osimhen. I mean, what else can we say? I can't wait to reporting on him performing in the Premier League again, or at least like a top league, because this man is just too good. Yet another brace for Galatasaray. 16 goals and 2 assists in his last 12 games for club and country, literally dragging his team over the line to win the Turkish title again. And we should see him win the Turkish Cup when they play Trabzonspor. So Victor Osimhen, shout out to you. You are my Starboy of the week. Just to round up the podcast for the ones to watch, Champions League football this week. No Nigerian players involved, but make sure you watch this space because those are big, big games. Internazionale versus Barcelona tomorrow at San Siro, and then PSG versus Arsenal at the Parc des Princes on Wednesday night. In terms of Nigerian footballers, we will reconvene over the weekend. On Saturday, we'll see Omar Sadiq's Valencia host Getafe. We know that Crisanto will not play the game, so watch this space. Also, we'll see Alex Iwobi and Kevin Bassey's Fulham play Everton in 3 p.m. kickoff, and then we'll see the Southampton boys, Onuachu and Aribo, Southampton, play host to Manchester City. They will definitely get thrashed. And then Osimhen's Galatasaray host Trabzonspor 5 p.m. kickoff as they inch closer to the league title. On Sunday, we'll see Battle of Nigerians with Aina and Taiwanese Nottingham Forest hosting with Ndidi's Leicester. And then we'll see Nathan Tella's Leverkusen playing against Dortmund 2:30 p.m. kickoff. And then another Battle of Nigerians, Todora Kodare's Genk at home against Raphael Onyedika's Club Brugge 5:30 p.m. kickoff. And then rounding up the fixtures for the next week, we'll see Ademola Lookman's Atalanta host Roma in a 7:45 p.m. kickoff. So that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks again for rocking with me. I know it's been another long one, but updates they come, man. Football choke, especially this May. So look out for, let's see where our players end up in terms of winning titles or getting as far as possible in terms of their league positions. Just a lot to be thankful for and a lot to just be excited about when it comes to football. Of course, we've got the Unity Cup coming in about 3 weeks' time, or just over 4 weeks. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks from this Wednesday. So look out for that game. We'll be playing Ghana. And once the squad list is announced, of course, we'll be sure to bring you what the updates look like. Until next time, enjoy the football. Thanks again for rocking with me. Remember, we're Nigeria Football Weekly on all social media channels except Twitter, where we're at NFWPOD. Thanks again for rocking with me. I've been also okay, and I'll see you on next week's episode. Take care and ciao, ciao. Bye.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigerian the ever carry last.